Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Praise and gratitude let us pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given blessings to us all. Not forgetting the prayers and greetings to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family and companions. May we all seek his intercession and receive guidance until the day of judgment. Amin. The Honorable Lecturer, Mr. Dr. Kaharuddin, SIP MHUM. First of all, my name is Wafiyah Asyifah, a student majoring in English Education, Faculty of Tarbiyah and Teacher Training at the State Islamic University of Alauddin, Makassar. In this video, I will present my answers to 10 questions to fulfill my final assignment in the Introduction to Linguistics course. The structure is that I will present the existing questions and then provide answers to these questions. After that, the conclusion of the discussion at the end of the video. Alright, on the first question, what are the differences among language, linguist, and linguistics? Also explain their relationship. Language can be defined as a method system of communication used by humans to communicate meaning or message of thoughts and feelings, which is built from conventional elements such as sounds, words, phrases, sentences, and meanings. Therefore, language is only used by humans, while a linguist is someone who studies linguistics with an in-depth study, or it can be said that linguist is someone who specializes in linguistics. Then, linguistics is the study of language, which means studying the components of language, such as phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, and semantics. All three have a very close relationship. Language is the basic unit of the branches of linguistics. Without language, there would be no linguistics subject. Language and linguistics have a reciprocal relationship. A linguist is someone who studies linguistics and specializes in linguistics. Question number 2. What is communication? How many communication systems do humans have? Explain your answer. Communication can be defined as an interactive process of sending a symbol or message through a particular medium and mode from sender to receiver, wherein the receiver attempts to decode the symbol to know the meaning of the message sent by the sender. There are 3 things that must be in communication. 1. The sender. 2. The message. 3. The receiver. And there are at least 5 knowledge in communication. 1. Phonetics. 2. Phonology. 3. Morphology. 4. Syntax. And 5. Semantics. There are 3 communication systems do humans have. 1. Speech communication system. Speech is produced when we speak. This requires the articulation and incorporation of segmental sounds, exempligratia, vowels, and consonants, and suprasegmental sounds, exempligratia, word stress, and intonation, produced when we functioning our speech organs. 2. Writing communication system. Besides speaking, writing is the second communication system that humans usually use in their daily interactions. Writing as a communication system can be defined as a tool to communicate abstract ideas and human emotions by using coherent signs or symbols in the form of text. 3. Gesture communication system. Gestures are also known as nonverbal or vocal communication system, in which we use the parts of our body to communicate the information, such as fingers, hand movements, Faces are used to convey the information in our social interactions. Gesture communication system usually used by dumb and deaf people. The question number 3. As someone wants to communicate his or her abstract ideas, intention in written form, how many types of knowledge does he or she need to use? Please explain your answers concerning the 4 types of knowledge. Writing communication system is one of the human communication systems. There are 4 types of knowledge, namely knowledge of content or information, knowledge of linguistics such as words, spelling, grammar, knowledge of organization, way of organizing information, and knowledge of style, way of expressing information. 1. Knowledge of content or information. Content refers to information contained in written texts. A person who chooses writing communication system to express his ideas, he must ensure that he have knowledge about the topic that he wants to convey. 2. Knowledge of linguistics, such as words, spelling, grammar. Knowledge of linguistics refers to the ability to encode information in language components, such as words, phrases, sentences, with the correct spelling, word choice, and grammar. 3. Knowledge of organization, or way to organizing information. Knowledge of organization refers to the ability to organize the sentences and paragraphs in a good order that a piece of writing is easy for the reader to follow. 4. Knowledge of style, or way to expressing information. Knowledge of style refers to the ability to arrange paragraphs in a good text structure. Recognizing text pattern is beneficial both to writers and readers. From readers' perspective, text pattern can help the readers to see close relations from one to another that can help the readers to get more comprehension. While from writers' perspective, text patterns allows the writers to satisfy their readers with a natural English text structure. Question number 4. What do you know of the theories of language origin? Please explain your answer. What I know about the theories of the origin of language is that, according to Fromkin v. Rothman R. and Hyams N. 2003, there are at least 3 theories put forward to describe the origin of language. 1. The theory of defined origin. What I know about this theory is that the theory of defined origin is the assumption that human language comes from God's gift. Both people past and present who are religious believe that language is a gift from God to mankind. In Islam, it is believed that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala taught Prophet Adam the names of everything, which can be interpreted that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is the source of language that provided Prophet Adam as the first human created by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala with language. 2. The theory of evolutionary development. This theory believes that language is the result of gradual change in the human communication system over time, from gestures to complex speech. In other words, is that the languages of the world evolved spontaneously and were not given and designed by anything. 3. The theory of language as a human invention. Another different theory about the origin of language is the theory of language as a human invention. According to Tyler T.G., 1997, the most influential expert on this theory is Candillac, 1947. Candillac believed that only humans have language. Next, to question number 5. What is phonetics? Explain your answer. Do not give the definition, but explain the concept. In concept, phonetics is one of the branches of linguistics, where phonetics is closely related to sounds in speech. Phonetics is the science that studies first speech organs or articulators. They include lips, teeth, alveolus ridge, hard palate, velum or soft palate, uvula, glottis, and various parts of the tongue. Second, speech sounds. Speech sounds are sounds that are spoken by speakers of a language. Therefore, it must be fully understood that speech sounds are not letters used to spell words. It's all about what you hear, not what letters are used to spell words. In other words, the sound of English speech does not represent the English alphabet. Third, speech sound production. Speech sound production shows the process of making speech sounds using an articulator. The production of consonant sounds is mainly determined by two factors, namely, the place where the sound is produced, place of articulation, and the way it is pronounced, manner of articulation. For example, when a person wants to make a P sound, he needs to move his lips together and then block the airflow for a moment. After that, he must release the air pressure suddenly in his mouth, which causes a plosive sound. Therefore, the place of articulation this sound is called bilabial, and how it is called stop, also known as a plosive. On the other hand, vowel sounds are made in a different way than consonants. Vocal sounds don't need airflow resistance, but require a more continuous flow of air. There are two types of sound. One, segmental sound, the basic sound produced by each language, in the form of consonants and vowels that exist in each series of words. Two, suprasegmental sound, which is the basic sound that accompanies segmental sounds such as word stress and intonation. For example, the intonation of the word what, from low intonation to high intonation. What? It means that we feel angry. But if the intonation from high intonation to low intonation, what? It means that we want to ask, which means intonation not only distinguishes high and low words, but also meaning. Lastly, junctures are clear boundaries between words in connected speech. Question number 6. What is phonology? Explain your answer. Do not give the definition, but explain the concept. Phonology is closely related to phonetics, where phonology applies knowledge of speech sounds, phonetics, in the pronunciation system of a language. Phonology studies how the human mind works in two fundamental aspects, namely to organize and use speech sounds in a language. 1. Phonology studies how speech sounds are organized. If a phoneme stands alone, it will have no meaning. For example, the sound P. What does it mean? But when used together or combined with others, it produces meaning. For example, when combined with a vowel sound E and a consonant sound N, a meaningful sound is formed pen, which means a tool used for writing. 2. Phonology studies how speech sounds are used. Theoretical statements of linguists who say that there are actually special rules that exist in the speaker's mind, also known as mental operations, that allow the speaker to make a meaningful organization of the sounds of his speech. Rules govern how they pronounce words. The difference in the pronunciation of the double O between the words book and floor shows how the rules work. Question number 7. What is morphology? Explain your answer. Do not give the definition, but explain the concept. Morphology is also a branch of linguistics that studies everything about words, which specifically examines word structure, word patterns, and word formation. Words used by humans in a language. Words are a part of language, and when we study words, we study morphology. Word structure, morphemes, is the smallest unit in language that has meaning and carries a lexical or grammatical function in the formation of new words. Word patterns, inflections. Word patterns can be illustrated to arrange words by following regular patterns to meet the grammatical demands of certain functions in a language. For example, building words by following the pattern of regular plural nouns in English. Exemplification, adding the suffix s to the end of nouns, such as car, cars, book, books, and chair, chairs. Productive word formation, the formation of new words in a language. The formation of productive words includes compounding and derivation. In addition to productive word formations, there are also less productive word formations. Question number 8. What is syntax? Explain your answer. Do not give the definition, but explain the concept. There are two underlying concepts to understand what syntax is, namely the concept of sentences and the concept of structure. The concept of a sentence refers to the largest language unit that is built from a group of words that usually have a subject and a predicate. The concept of structure refers to the arrangement of a group of words that applies a set of rules. Question number 9. What is semantics? Explain your answer. Do not give the definition, but explain the concept. Two key concepts that share in the definition, namely the linguistic meaning of words, phrases, and sentences, and their interpretation. Meaning in word, phrase, and sentence. Meaning exists in two separate categories, namely lexical semantics and sentential semantics. Lexical semantics is focused on studying the meaning of words and the meaning relationships between words. On the other hand, sentential semantics is focused on studying the meaning of the larger units of words, exemplification, phrases, clauses, and sentences, and the meaning relationships between them. Interpretation of words Phrases and sentences. Interpretation in this case refers to the act of explaining the meaning of certain words or sentences. Two cases of clear interpretation in semantics are ambiguity and speech acts. Question number 10. Analyze the syntactical structure of the following sentences. 1. The teacher teaches the students on Tuesday. 2. My sister can sing an English song sweetly. 3. A man bought my old car yesterday. 4. The dog is chasing the fat cat continuously. Following syntactic structure of the sentences in this last question with a transformative generative approach to syntax. Sentences are formed from a series of phrases, and phrases are formed from a series of words. The process of arranging words into phrases and phrases into sentences is called transformation. The following is the deep structure of these sentences. First, the teacher teaches the students on Tuesday. The is determinant. Teacher is noun. The teacher including to noun phrase. Es including to auxiliary. Teach is verb. The is determinant. Students is noun. The students including to noun phrase. On is phrase. Tuesday is noun phrase. On Tuesday including to prepositional phrase. Teach the students on Tuesday including to verb phrase. 2. My sister can sing an English song sweetly. My is determinant. Sister is noun. My sister including to noun phrase. Can is auxiliary. Sing is verb. An is determinant. English is adjective. Song is noun. An English song including to noun phrase. Sweetly is adverb. Sing an English song sweetly including to verb phrase. 3. A man bought my old car yesterday. A is determinant. Man is noun. A man including to noun phrase. Bought is verb. My is determinant. Old is adjective. Car is noun. My old car including to noun phrase. Yesterday is adverb. Bought my old car yesterday including to verb phrase. 4. The dog is chasing the fat cat continuously. The is determinant. Dog is noun. The dog including to noun phrase. Is and ing is auxiliary. Chase is verb. The is determinant. Fat is adjective. Cat is noun. The fat cat including to noun phrase. Continuously is adverb. Chase the fat cat continuously including to verb phrase. Conclusion. Linguistics is very important for us to learn. It is very important to be able to know the difference between linguistics and language, where language is the object studied in what linguistics is studied, namely components. Components such as phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, and semantics. By having knowledge about these components, we are able to communicate effectively, and this knowledge is certainly very much needed by a language teacher. It should be noted that language is different from communication because language is a means of communication. There are 3 communication systems that we use, namely speech communication system, writing communication system, and gesture communication system. Therefore, I highly recommend being able to communicate effectively by having knowledge of linguistics, especially for English language students to have knowledge about language, namely the language component, so that the communication we do becomes effective, especially for language teachers, because effective communication is very important in communicating learning materials. We can get this knowledge by reading books or other sources, and I myself recommend the book written by Mr. Dr. Kaharudin SIPM HUM as a lecturer in the Introduction to Linguistics course, where this book will be very helpful in understanding the components of the language. Lastly, I personally would like to say thank you very much to the lecturer of the Introduction to Linguistics course, Mr. Dr. Kaharudin SIPM HUM, and those who helped me a lot in making this video. Thank you very much, and let's close this video by saying Alhamdulillah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.